out of his brain.
How did he receive that?
He said that he appreciated how I delivered it, but I could also tell that he was still like
resistant.
Yeah, he was still wanting to like cut the conversation short and like cut me off and stuff. And I'm like, you have to calm down. I'm not coming at you negatively. I'm trying to get you to understand that we have to get over this hurdle in order for us to get to where we need to be.
So remember, baby steps, right? The first step would be to create a safe space to do what you initially said, to be transparent and leave it all on the table. So to create this awareness that this is a clean slate, this is a judgment-free zone. Whatever you've done to fuck up your finances in the past, it's in the past. We're a new you. So past you could throw it all on the table, and I don't care because that's not who you are anymore. But we need to know what they did. We need to know what that motherfucker did to your money. That motherfucker right there did something to your money, and we need to figure out what the fuck he did to your money. Okay? Look at that motherfucker and say, look what you did to my money. Look what you did to my money, okay? Tell him to bring that to the table, okay? Me and you are gonna sit here together. We're on the same team, okay, my dude? Let's look at this nigga together and be like, bruh, what was you doing? Not what was you doing. What was past me doing, okay? We're on the same team with this. Me and you are gonna have a meeting with that nigga, okay? And we're gonna figure out what that nigga, okay? We on the same page? This isn't about you right now. And that takes away a lot of the shame, the fear that he's having about bringing it to you, because anytime you address a fucked up decision, I'm not addressing you. I'm talking about with that nigga, okay? Not you, Lou, boo. I know you won't do me like that. I love you. You got my back. But that nigga right there was doing some crazy shit. Now he got both of us fucked up. He had us both fucked up.
Girl, who the fuck was that? Get her back. Get her back where she was.
Yes. Do it for yourself if you need to, too. Because, bitch, what? Let me tell you what past did. Let me tell you what past the did. Not present. Past that girl.
She had to come see me.
Listen, okay? The reason why that's helpful when we talk about the support system is because to be your own best friend, sometimes you have to remove yourself from the situation and pretend like the person who needs help is someone else. We're always comfortable helping someone else. The same way that you're jumping in right now, you probably had a hard time. The speed in which you were able to jump in and choose help for yourself was a lot slower because you're emotionally tied to the changes. You're emotionally tied to having to be vulnerable, right? It took you a long time. You probably wanted to reach out to me a long time before you did. And your husband probably has similar feelings, and it's going to take him time to feel comfortable. But the easiest way is to put them in a scenario they are comfortable with, which is often helping others. So when you remove yourself and detach from the situation by creating the decision, whatever the hard obstacle is, a person that's outside of you, it makes it easier for you to think critically about it. So for example, if he needs to call his car company or you need to call your mortgage company about something and you're behind and you're afraid to make that phone call because, oh my gosh, what if they tell me no or whatever? You're emotionally tied to them telling you no. But you're not making this phone call for you. You're making this phone call for your best friend. Now, if your best friend need to make that phone call, you ain't gonna feel no kind of way. You're gonna be like, hey, I'm just calling to find out what options are available. And they tell you no, they tell you no. If they tell you yes, you're like, oh, great. What do I gotta do? If they tell you no, okay, is there something else that she can do? Right? You're more willing to make that phone call because you're not feeling the pain of that conversation. And most of the time we don't take the actions we need to make with our finances because of the emotional roller coaster we anticipate happening if we are rejected, if we fail, if we whatever it is, right? And so we just go, you know what? I don't need that negativity in my life. I'm just going to avoid it altogether. I'm just going to take me out the chat. Take me out the group chat. I don't want to know. I'm not going to answer the phone call. I'm not going to do. But imagine anytime you're doing hard tasks, you're doing it on the behalf of your homegirl, your best friend, person you love, person you care about, your daughter. I'm making this phone call for her. This ain't about me. So I've given my alter ego another name. And I had to do the same activity with my sister. I was like, let's give her the nickname. We doing this for her. Right? It's so much easier, right? So create that feeling or that sense for your husband when he is challenged with doing hard things or hearing it. Remind him that we're going to remove ourselves from this moment just so that we can make the movements we need to make. Because sometimes the problem we're having is the emotional attach. So part of your emotional support system is your alter ego, your highest self, right? Your present day or future self helping past self out with the scenario. What we're doing when we're recovering from the damage we made is we're helping a person from our past. She's not you. He's not him. But present day person still needs help with that. Okay? So if present day person is not in the space, future you could help with that. Future you is in a good financial position, is capable of being able to help them. They're in a good headspace. They know how to process information properly. They know how to communicate things from in a loving way. Future me is healthy. They're not toxic. Future me can have this conversation with present me and past me. My higher self. Okay? So, I love that you're attempting to have these conversations with your husband. Remember to baby step him into it, though. Don't go too hard, overwhelming overnight, because he will cower and be like, oh, too much, too hard, we want to make it feel like it's safe. You want to tip till some people can cannonball into water, right? I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that want to slowly inch my way, and then I'm gonna wrap my hands around my waist as I slowly get deeper into the water, and then slowly, eventually I'm in the water. But I am not a jump in, and don't jump in next to me. Like, just because you in don't mean I want to get wet. Keep that energy. Don't splash on me, right? So for right now, make it so that the first step with him is at least being transparent. That's in self-awareness. The transparency about what's going on. Okay? Same rules that apply to you apply to him. His next step from self-awareness is going to be self-acceptance. Right now, he hasn't quite fully accepted that he needs to make these changes, and that's why he can't move into the step of self-advocacy and making the shifts. You're wanting him to move into self-advocacy before he's gotten to self-acceptance. So you're going to have to step back and work on getting him to first see that there is a problem, being able to acknowledge where they are, being able to see that he does need help, then being able to accept it and be okay with it without judgment, without feeling like that makes him a bad person, without feeling like it's something he should have already known how to do, right? Being able to accept that these are not his superpowers, and also somebody can do this part for him, right? Being able to accept that, hey, I'm watching you do it with humility. Maybe I can do it too. And you're good with money, right? But to him, he probably feels that way, like you're good with money, and yet you're still seeking help. That should make him feel more comfortable asking for help. So I love that. Keep working together, and eventually maybe it'll be, you guys will start having family money meetings where you guys are both discussing the progress you're making. And it doesn't feel like he's reporting to you, but you guys are supporting each other and sharing what you got accomplished. You're sharing what your personal goals are with your finances for the week, and he's sharing with his ours, and you guys are checking in to see how you did. So the same way you set goals with me, and you're like, okay, I'm doing a no spend challenge this week, and we meet and we see how that week went, you can share the same goal with him and say, hey, I'm doing a no challenge this week. Here's how you can hold me accountable. Like, I'm gonna do my best, blah, blah, blah. If you see me stepping online, you have my permission to drag me back in. And that's the other thing, is you need consent, right? He needs consent as well. When you're trying to support him, and if he really wants to make the change that you're wanting him to make, he will give you consent to bring him back on board. Until then, it's going to feel like you're telling him what to do. But when you have asked and say, hey, do I have your permission to help? If I see you off, can I help redirect you? Do I have the permission to redirect you? In the same way that I said in the beginning of this call about time, right? Is that, can I have your permission if I find us a little bit on a scenic route to bring us back in? Okay, and now here's how I'll probably do it. Does that feel good to you? I wanted to make sure it feels good so that when it happens, it's still serving the purpose it needs to serve, and we're on the same page, and you don't feel like that I'm trying to control or bully, or, that you feel like I'm actually doing it because you wanted me to, because this is something that you said would support you and help you reach your goals faster, right? Because I care about your goals, I'm creating this system so that I can jump in and support when you need it, and you are going to find a way that you guys can jump in and help and figure out what cadence makes sense, what that looks like. If it's just simply by leading by example, do you want to see what I'm doing, what I've learned in coaching so far, what I'm trying out this week? This might not work for me, but I'm trying this out and see how this works. Do you want to try it with me? that might be the way. So you'll figure out how you guys can get on the same page, so that should you guys decide to fully reconnect with each other, that you are on the same page financially and you're setting your relationship up for success because you're on the same page and you're doing the same things.